I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is July 9th, Tuesday, 2024. Hope you had a good day today. So we had Asia pushed it up first. So distribution already happened in the day, right? And then we get a nice big pullback today, which makes sense only because of the fact that we pushed off in Asia first. And then secondly, we've been pushing up. Let's get a retrace back. So where we are right now, I'll get to that in a second, but let's just go over the day. Very, very tough day for me. Almost a red day again. A little bit too married to my bias, obviously. You definitely want to trade the chart, not the bias so much, but at the same time, that balance is tough. But where would I even begin? So to make this simple, Asia, let me just show you on the 15-minute chart. So Asia pulls up right away, right? Get these drives up, and then we get a raid. Let me transfer it to the 1 minute real quick. So we get this nice raid. We get a push up for a higher high right here at the 930. And here at the time, you got to understand that you got to also flow with the order flow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to be able to do that. And even I was bullish and took losses, I still know how to trade the other direction, right? So in that sense, let me just show you this. So we push up here. We get this nice higher high. And then we push down. We had Powell talking at 10 o'clock, and they were beating his ass up for hours. Well, not hours, but, a long time pretty much. So at the same time, dollar was kind of pushing up, so that kind of pushed us down a little bit. So, but here you can see when I had this right here, this was a higher low and this was a higher high, right? So here, even if it comes, when we hit this, came back down to this 70, I took this buy, trying to break through, right? All right, that failed, came back down. When we came back down into the 79, okay, I take that buy as well. And I'm obviously very bullish, but what do? We push up all the way through. We don't hit the 100-point level. That was 100 points, right? Yeah. So another small range there on the top side. And if I have this green level, doesn't mean it's my real target. It is a target though, but doesn't mean I'm married to it. Just to FYI. But anyways, so when we push up here, I like that. I do take that trade. So I'm going to show these trades because I did have a red. I almost had a red day, but I still got out of it. So in that case, you'll see here that I am trying to target this 79 after we swept this 60, this 70 that failed. Then the body comes to a 79 and then wicks, and I get filled here. Momentum really pushing fast today. And another thing that you'll see on the 5-minute that you don't really get any closures. You're not really getting that. It's all wicks. So very difficult to understand where the price is going. So at this point, I've already took 2 losses, right? But right here, I do take this trade out, and then after this, okay. So now, when this trade happens, so what you just saw this buy right here, what happens is we get this push all the way back. So this is sort of a displacement in a sense. And at the time, we did bounce off of this opening day gap right here, as you could see. But when we come down to this 50% of the opening range, I do take that buy. Another loss. Comes down to the opening day gap, take that buy, and it fails again. So at this point, I've got so many losses. I was red. But one thing I do know in my experience is that I'm not saying to overtrade, but I do know more setups are coming. And to also now, let's just say you keep losing. Well, if your bias is wrong and you keep losing, trade the other way. I mean, that's simple. Now, I'm not forcing you or telling you to trade the other way. I'm just giving you the logic. It's just simple logic, really, right? So in this case, I've already failed this many times, and now I see it more clear that this is a definite sell day slash we've broke structure. So we've broke structure right here. Okay, and I just didn't want to. It's kind of like I didn't want to believe it, but when we pushed down right here, I was cool with this, right? Because it still didn't break this low. So I took this buy. So now if I transfer this fib to here, you'll see right here. All right, so that's the range that we're in, so to speak. And technically, you're still in this range here too. But and as far as order flow on the 1 minute goes, when we break through, that's a break structure right there. So in that sense, I what I am supposed to be doing is this. Let me see if I can do this here. I'm supposed to be transferring it to this, but I just to be honest with you, I've been buying for so long and succeeding at it that we don't see these kind of days, right? So, anyways, you get this retracement back. Where does it go? It goes to the 61. Beautiful. This last up candle, nicely. Bodies are respecting that little gap. Can you see that little gap right there in between 10:10 and 10:11? You see that little gap right there going to 1 minute? Look at that. Beautiful. I'm not even going to draw it. All right, so anyways, at this point, I have to sit on my hands. I got too many losses. But let me explain something. When I take these buys that I've took, they all were in profit. I just didn't take the fucking money or take the trade. So the trade actually panned out. Now, not to like going to new highs or anything, but when I took these actual trades, these levels, these are key levels. The 50% of their opening range. This is the opening day gap, but these are actually key levels. But they failed, but I could have took profit and they still would have been okay, right? I didn't need to hit a home run, but that's what I did. So transparency is key, right? It's no big deal. Why? Because we got more opportunities coming. For example, when this busted through, now I'm like, okay, very clear. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Now where's my lower high? So the price comes back up, let it get to a decent area, which is generally the golden area, which is a 61, right? So you can see it comes to a 61. I'm like, yep, this is beautiful. I like this. I'm going to take this as a sell. Okay, cool. Because what am I looking at now at this point? What am I looking the day as? Well, I know that we distributed in Asia first. And that should have been like the hello, you know what I'm saying? But I was just kind of married to, the bias of bullish, which it is still bullish in my opinion now. But I'm just saying for the day, right? So that should have been a big red flag. But anyways, so now I got lower high to lower low to retrace to lower high again. I'm at the 61. The 61 was killing it today. Let's just put it that way. But and then you'll see here. All right, and I needed a win because at this point I've already wiped out my first trade. I'm like negative. I'm like what the fuck? It's been a while, right? And then sure enough, I'm patient. I'm waiting for a clean setup. Okay, so here it goes. So lower low to lower high. Price gets up here, gets to that 61. We first tag it up there, and then we start coming down. Boom, I'm already in. Beautiful, but happens to be in the background the first 25% of the opening range, or 75%, whichever you want to call it, right? Let's just say the top 25%, and then which is in the background as well. So where am I taking this? At this point, I can see where we're going. But besides this low, forget this low. Obviously, we're going to make a new lower low, right? But where am I going? What's down here? Well, we have the breakout artist that pushed through the price from yesterday, which was remember in the evening session. If you have to watch yesterday's video, so this makes sense. But when we were pushing through, and I knew we would, they created this imbalance right here, and right underneath that, obviously what creates that imbalance is that low, which people have got in as a last resort to push up, right? So they're coming back down to balance price and wipe out, late buyers pretty much, right? So for me, I'm targeting literally this 50% level of this imbalance. And you can see I screenshot it to the fucking head, baby. So boom, I'm in profit back. I'm like, great, this is wonderful, right? Taking it easy. And as soon as we got down here, I said, this would be a nice buy to make a lower high. Meaning this is a lower low and I want to buy it up for a lower high. So then this is where I do that. So you can see here, respecting the 50% level. You can see the bodies right there respecting it. And sure enough, this pans out. Look at we got a higher low here as a divergence. Beautiful. I love to see that. We actually had one right here too, by the way. If you take a look here, this is This is a higher low here, and this is a lower low right here. And this was a beautiful trade. I actually caught this and then fucking didn't take the profit, man. Like the same shit I did yesterday. And it's like, whatever. It is what it is. But then I take this right away, instant profit. Where am I taking it to? My goal was to take it into this gap right here. See this little gap right here? I took it to this gap, plus there's a little actual gap right there in between that. So I took it to there, and coincidentally, I already know this is a 61 already. And I wanted to be done with the day because at this point it was late. It's now 1 o'clock. I haven't took lunch. And fuck this day. But I was very grateful that I was able to turn it around, man, and still trade the flow. Right? That's what's fucking key. I'm trying to tell you. Like I didn't have to give up on the day, right? But I do need to trade what it's doing, right? So beautiful trade, and yeah, man. That's how that ended. So, but the crazy thing is that when we got up here, look at now I had the fib here. You can see when we hit that gap, this is, I was trying to get to this area, but took the profit out. And you can see here, we're at a 61 right here beautifully. And it fucking sells again for another lower low. And I was like, bruh, that would have been awesome if I just took it. Because I was already right here. I was like, man, just take it. And then I was like, nah, man, you're done. I'm fucking really over this day. Made a new lower low. Where did it go? Well, so it took out, I didn't even see this at the time, but it took out that low right there, this 330 from yesterday, and it did not take out the 245 low from yesterday. So it came all the way to this level here, and then held, right? So with that being the case, this is a really nice pattern. It's like a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders right here. You can see the left shoulder, you can see the bottom head, you can see the right shoulder. See that right there? This is a very, very, very common pattern for reversal. But anyways, at this point, taking this buy is a great thing, because only for the fact that, number one, we're bullish. Number two, they're going to break and run for this liquidity eventually. Now, obviously, we're not getting it today. It's 4:06 and the day is pretty much done. But buying this lower low to a lower high, if you're counter trending, the counter trend, I should say, that we're kind of pretty much go deeper into this range, more or less, like more than this, right? For like this range here, right? This was stop at a 61. It didn't come to a 70 or a 79 or anything like that. Like, and so is this one, right? They were ready to roll. But by now, at this point, I mean, the whole point of me saying all this pushing up here, this is a dump and pump, right? This is just basically basic price action logic. They'll generally dump it in the AM and then pump it in the PM, right? So that's what we're getting here. And I still think we're busting right through this high. We have obviously CPI on Thursday, so Wednesday, tomorrow, we actually have Fed Powell talking again. I don't know for what, but I mean, they were grilling his ass today. Yeah, man, that being said, let me go real quick to some of the divergence here. On the bigger, larger picture, we had lower lows here from yesterday and today with Dow, and we had higher lows here. So I was really gung-ho about pushing up, but when you saw this divergence going on right here, I mean, it was already over with. I mean, it was already selling, it was already lower highs here with Nas. But that last push would have been awesome. And I saw that. That was the one I was talking about after I was done with the day at 1 o'clock. But it is what it is, man. So do my best to try to catch it. But and then now we have higher lows here with Nas, and we have lower lows here. So I'm assuming with this divergence here and with this divergence here, I am assuming that we're going to be pushing up still from here, right? But I don't know, man. There's a lot of liquidity there. Now, if I get to, and then you'll see dollar was kind of pushing up, right? So majority of the day was just pushing up, higher highs and higher lows right there. So it's kind of like stunning our growth there. So if I do go back to this, I will say this, though. I will say that as far as tomorrow goes, or where we are now, I'm looking at price action where we are right now like this, right here. So kind of how we pushed up and we retraced. We found a bottom, right? And I'm kind of looking at like that was that, right? Like we pushed up, we found a bottom, right? And then we pushed up again and we retraced. So kind of like we pushed up and then we retraced, right? It's not sexy like similar, but I'm expecting another push up, right? And then we'll have some type of nice pullback, and we'll have some little structure like this, not as long, but a nice little, pullback from up here, and then maybe push off again, depending on the historical data and the macro level of what's going on. So, but bonds were definitely pushing down today, and yields were pushing up today. So that kind of explains what happened today. So look forward to that and see how that pans out. And 15 minutes, I like that. So let me see. I feel like I'm missing something. Yes, this is kind of wide open. This daily imbalance right here. I'm even gonna drag it out right there. So I don't know if we're gonna dip in and take that low, but right now this is support. So they don't need to come back down here, and we'll see. So yeah, Asia was really the key factor of what happened, as it pushed up already first today. So other than that, you guys take care and God bless.